Good afternoon, everyone. It's about 12:05, and I note that date because, as you all know, with regard to the reapportionment commission, we were given an extension that we had requested of the Supreme Court of the state of Connecticut until noon today to work with our Democratic colleagues on coming up with a solution or a map that dictates the congressional lines of our 5 congressional districts for the next 10 years. As we speak, the Attorney General is appearing at the Supreme Court to deliver a letter indicating that unfortunately we have to report that we have reached an impasse and we have not been able to come to an agreement on the drawing of those 5 congressional maps. Frankly, it is totally within the hands of the Supreme Court. They have not indicated what process they will follow, and we are unaware of it. We don't know if they will allow other briefs to be submitted, or whether they will take evidence or hear evidence or oral argument. That is totally their call, and obviously they have not set that out as of yet. The guiding principles we use throughout all of our deliberations and in our attempts to negotiate, whether it was the House maps, the Senate maps, or the congressional maps, are listed there. One person, one vote, compactness of districts, continuity of districts, preserving communities of interest, respecting minority communities, political fairness, and preservation of political subdivisions. We felt that it has been determined we have 5 congressional districts, that we in Connecticut, unless there is a massive exodus, will have 5 congressional districts for a long time to come. And we felt that it was our job, given the districting principles I mentioned, to straighten out this gerrymander, this radical departure. And we also were cognizant of and respectful of minority population. Remember, when we last left the ranch, the areas of concern where we had 139 districts where we agreed where they should be placed, or 82%, and we had 30 districts where we had disagreement in. In this map here, we put Bridgeport back in the 4th district, respecting their desires and various people who were concerned about removing it. We kept the 2nd district pretty much the same as they did. The 3rd district looked pretty much the same as it always has been and what the Democrats had wanted. And we straightened out as best we could, and we thought in a fair compromise, what we called the hook and the claw, and that was in the 1st and 5th district. New Britain has a fairly large population. I believe it hovers around 80,000 people, 73,000 people. If you look at the current map, the reason that there is a hook and a claw is because the population has to be a certain amount, and when you take New Britain from what is it's currently in the 5th and you move it to the 1st, that changes the population needs of the 5th. So in order to remove the hook and the claw, and for other reasons like community of interest, I mean, as my colleague Senator McKinney said many times at the table, we got $1 zillion busway that goes from Hartford to New Britain. It's 7 miles away by every stretch, historically and otherwise. New Britain's community of interest is the 1st district. And if you put New Britain in the 1st district, then all of that hook and claw ugliness goes away and becomes part of the 5th district. I would defy anyone to explain a community of interest between the town of Torrington and the town of Hartford, which is 40 miles away, and deny there's a community of interest between the city of New Britain and the city of Hartford, which is 7 miles away. The 1st and the 3rd district are wholly owned by the Democrats. So what you're saying, and what I guess people are acknowledging, is on election day, before a vote is cast, put 2 in the column for the Democrats. And what I found interesting during the public debate was that when the 4th district, as we had initially drawn it, took out the city of Bridgeport, there was outrage that someone would make a district that was, in their mind, so one-sided for one party. And yet we tolerate, accept, and almost take as a given that the 1st and the 3rd are the Democrats. We felt that that was a fair compromise in all aspects, the amount of towns in dispute, the creation of minority influenced population district for the first time in the history. We felt it was respectful of the historical background of 5 districts. We restored Bridgeport to the 4th, and that was our offer. We were informed yesterday afternoon that the Democrats would not respond to that offer and that we had reached impasse.